Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Locked On Flames. Nazem Kadri has signed with the Flames 7 years at $7 million, and Brad Treliving is easily one of the best GMs in the National Hockey League.
You're Locked On Flames, your daily podcast on the Calgary Flames. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Locked On Flames. As always, I am your host, Jess Belmosto, and I am so happy to be here with you discussing some very exciting news. But before we get too far into it, let me remind you to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We are free 99 on Apple, Audible, Odyssey, Spotify, and YouTube. Today, the news came out that Nazem Kadri signed with the Flames. The biggest free agent left on the market, who was pretty much pegged to go to the Islanders, and everyone thought he did because nothing had come out about it, is now a Calgary Flame. So things are looking quite different in Calgary now, and some people might be upset about the term, some people might be upset about the salary, but one way or the other, you're overpaying for something in free agency. And can I remind you all about Kadri's playoff performance that helped the Colorado Avalanche, win the whole thing? Can I rewind the tapes, refresh your memory a little bit? But like I said, Nazem Kadri is coming off of a Stanley Cup championship, and he knows what it takes to win. It is just like last year when Blake Coleman signed with the Flames and was the shiny new toy in town. And the Flames had something to work for, and now they have another shiny addition to their roster. Last season, he had a career year and has truly blossomed into a new player. He left Toronto and suddenly found his game, found his stride, and was no longer this quote-unquote pest. Sure, he's a little bit of an agitator, but it was nothing like the way it was when he was in Toronto. And right now, the Flames have brought in another talent, and they've brought in a center, but also a player who can play at or on the wing as well. And Kadri does fluctuate in production, but last year he had 87 points and 28 goals. So, when a guy finds his footing like that, that you can almost count on that for happening again, especially under a Daryl Sutter system where it is a very replicable, repetitive game. I truly think that Kadri will blossom under this system, and we will see that. We're going to see it. This team is also a much better team. We're going to talk about it more, but when talking about building a team and a successful team, you want to take a look at what's going down the middle. You want to talk about your centers. And do you know what the Flames just acquired? A center who can actually play the position and take face-offs and not be stuck when trying to, get back up after a face-off. But you have Kadri playing on a line where he can be the center or a wing. So you could have Huberdeau, Lindholm, Nazem, Kadri. Or, you go Huberdeau, Lindholm, Toffoli. Which, again, this is still something that has to be tinkered and played out with. You can plug and play, and if you want, you upgrade over to Toffoli on the top line. It is no disrespect to Tyler Toffoli. We don't play the disrespectful game here. We just speak the truth. I think that Kadri's a stronger skater, and I think that will play to his benefit. At on the top line. But again, like I said, you can plug and play. Lindholm's a strong two-way player as well. You could put him on the line with Coleman and Mangiapane and then move Backlund down another line and kind of play there. And you have to get creative. And that's exactly what this team is doing. They're putting all of the money on the table. They know they're contenders. This is a stark turnaround from where they were 2 years ago when we were sitting here pondering, are they going to blow up the team and trade Gaudreau, trade Monahan? They know Gio's going to walk in the expansion draft. So what do you do there? This is such a different team, and they are overall a much more competitive team that really does have the chance to win. And we're going to talk more about that next. But first, I do want to take a second to talk about some highway safety. You're hanging out with some friends and putting back a few drinks. A few becomes too many. As the evening comes to an end and people start to head out, you think of calling a ride. Nah, you live nearby. You can make it home. It's no big deal. What are the odds you get pulled over anyway? And even so, what's the worst that could happen? Your insurance goes up, you lose your license, your job, you total your car. What if you kill someone? Everyone knows the risks of driving drunk, and the results are tragic and often deadly. However, that still doesn't stop everyone from getting behind the wheel while they're under the influence. That's why police officers are out there right now looking for impaired drivers on our road to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Play it safe and plan ahead. Get a ride, and it only takes one mistake to change your life or someone else's forever. Drive sober or get pulled over. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Locked On Flames today. As always, I'm Jess Belmosto, and you can find me on Twitter at Jess Belmosto, or you can find the show at LO_FlamesPod. I am fully confident saying this team is better than what they were a year ago. They're better than they were when they were eliminated. Huberdeau and Kadri are upgrades over Gaudreau and Tkachuk. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that, obviously, Kadri is going to play a different position than Tkachuk, so I'm not saying, what Kadri brings to the Flames is going to be a lot more significant than what Tkachuk brought. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see how the defense looks with Uyghur. I'm so excited to see that. I feel like a lot of people have just kind of focused on what the forwards are going to look like. I think Uyghur will be an excellent addition. And again, another upgrade in the system. But we talk about Sean Monahan, and kind of his role with the team. And while I'm recording this, he has been traded to the Montreal Canadiens, and there will be an episode on his departure today or tomorrow. But, Sean Monahan was a liability to the Flames. He ate up $6.23 million in cap space and was oftentimes injured or was healthy scratched or out for the season because he couldn't play anymore. So, you're getting that money off the books and bringing in a player who can more than likely stay healthy, who can produce consistently, who is a strong center. And I really think that it's unfair to say that Sean Monahan, deserved to stay. I think, any smart business person is going to tell you upgrade, even if you're spending a little bit more money. That's what the market is right now. And the market is going to cost you a few $100,000 more, but you're getting a significantly better player. At least with Kadri, you know that he doesn't have two bum hips. He doesn't have this consistent, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not consistently inconsistent. With the games we saw Sean Monahan play last year, he was not there. He was not the player that he was paid to be or that he used to be. With Kadri, you know what you're getting. He's not coming off of some significant surgery or injury. He is coming off of a career year with Colorado after winning the Stanley Cup. And you're going to have a strong top 9 here. You're going to have a significant increase in production, especially from whatever line is replacing, whoever fills in for Sean Monahan at center. Again, could that be Adam Ruzicka? I don't know. Because you do have Kevin Rooney. You did sign him at like $1.3 million as well. So him being your fourth line center is fine. But you're just such a stronger team down the middle. You have Lindholm, Kadri, and Backlund. You remember how we talked about Tampa Bay when they won their first cup or the back-to-backs, how deep of a team they were? That's the kind of vibe I'm getting here. Backlund was your best player and best center in the postseason last year. If he's going to be your third-line center, okay, that just speaks to the depth of your team, especially when you are bringing in Kadri. Now, again, I mentioned at the start of the show about the plug-in play. How are we going to get a team that is able to create chemistry and produce? I don't know. I don't know what Daryl Sutter has planned, but I do think it is going to look like Huberdeau, Lindholm, Toffoli, and then you probably are going to have the Mangiapane, Coleman, or Mangiapane, Backlund, and Coleman line, and then your third line with Kadri. But I don't know. That is my guess. That is just what I think at the moment. I do not see a world where Trevor Lewis or Milan Lucic start on the third line. Could they get shaken up there? Sure. But I don't see that happening. I do kind of see that fourth line just kind of staying consistently what they are. Will they bring back Brett Ritchie? I don't know. Will they give one of their prospects a chance? Especially playing with a guy like Kadri? Maybe. I don't know. Matt Coronado is tearing it up in World Juniors right now. But is he going back to Harvard, or is he going to make the team out of camp? What about Pelletier? What about Matthew Phillips? There's a lot, there are still question marks, but they're a lot less than what they were a month ago. And I don't think this team is going to be what last season's team was. I truly think they're going to be better. Expectations are high. The last time I went into expectation this high, the Flames missed the playoffs. But you know what? That's because they didn't have a good coach for a full season. There was no chemistry, no identity, nothing. This team has an identity now. They are a destination for players. Players are choosing to come here. They want to sign here long term. And you know what? This team is so much better than from when they lost Gaudreau, Goodbranson, and Tkachuk. This team is a contender. They truly did a 180. And Brad Treliving is laying it all out on the table for these guys. For Daryl Sutter even. They went from tanking for Bedard to, we could actually win in a matter of 3 weeks. I don't see any other general manager pulling the moves that Brad Treliving is doing. I don't see it. Yeah, the Canes got better by adding Bretton Burns and Max Pacioretty, but Max Pacioretty has to have, was it Achilles or ACL surgery? Vegas is still doing their thing. They're not doing very well with cap space. Toronto, I don't know what Toronto's doing. But then, you look at other teams in the division. Yeah, Edmonton got better. They figured out goaltending. But did they figure out goaltending? I truly think this team will be better than the Kraken, than the Ducks, than the Kings. Vancouver is a team that can be sneaky good, but I don't think they'll be better than the Flames. And that's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. And you can place a bet on your opinion right now at betonline.net. BetOnline.net is your number one source for online betting and all the updates you need to keep your bet accurate and making sure it's the right bet to place. BetOnline has you covered from A to Z, from sports, esports, reality TV shows, and golf and combat sports. So head on over to betonline.net today to see the latest news, the lines, the updates, the props, live betting, and let me know if you're betting on the Flames to win the Stanley Cup or for Brad Treliving to win General Manager of the Year at the NHL Awards next year. And bet online, where the game starts. Remember when Jack Eichel was on the market to be traded and the Flames were rumored to be there? They were rumored to be in the mix, and how Vegas just kind of came in and, someone leaked the deal and Vegas was able to sneak in there and say, hey, we can offer you something better. Well, the Flames haven't missed out on their guy this offseason. Considering, yes, Gaudreau and Tkachuk left, but with those two departures, who they get to make up for that loss is impressive. It is truly an upgrade over last season's roster. It is something that I don't think they saw themselves doing this. I don't think Flames fans had an idea of what they could get in return or who they could bring on. Brad Treliving is on his little cottage golf course or whatever he's doing on his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Brad Treliving. On his phone saying, hey, Kent Hughes, you want a Sean Monahan? I know you have to reach the cap floor. $6.23 million, please. Yeah. I'll attach an asset to it, too. Great. Yeah, see you on the course. Bye-bye. Click. He is out there working the phones. He is doing the work. He flew out to Montreal to have dinner with Jonathan Huberdeau to introduce himself and to, welcome him to the organization. He wants players to feel comfortable. He has a job that needs to get done. It is also a contract year for him, too. Don't forget that. Don't forget it. You offer Gaudreau the world. Apparently, they offered him $11 million. That came out yesterday. He walks. Tkachuk asks for a trade. Get Branson, who was a solid defenseman for you, walks. You come back with Jonathan Huberdeau, who was a Hart candidate last year, had the same amount of points as Gaudreau, 40 goal scorer. You get Mackenzie Weegar, who is a significant upgrade over Goodbranson, and Zadorov, but Zadorov's still on the team. A first-round pick, a prospect, and Nazem Kadri. Sean Monahan, who has been a liability for this team and for the cap space, is off the books. Who does this? I have not seen a general manager working this hard in a very long time. Treliving wanted to stay a contender, and he did just that. But he also got better. His team is significantly better. Now he needs to tell the coach not to ride the goaltender into the ground, because otherwise we're gonna have a little problem come April and May and maybe parts of June, when your goaltender is exhausted and your defense can only do so much. But that's a problem for another day. Because right now, the Flames have landed Nazem Kadri, who will help elevate the forwards and who will continue to produce. He's had a few 30-plus goal seasons. Who's to say he doesn't find that again? Find out more on Locked On Flames. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jess Belmosto. It has been an absolute pleasure chatting with you all today. And of course, the next episode will more than likely be a tribute to Sean Monahan and his career with the Calgary Flames. I'm hoping to get Audie on because he obviously has watched Monahan's entire career, and I can only speak for the true downfall of it. And I want to bring back the good and remember the good, and hopefully share with Montreal the kind of player they could be getting. So thank you so much. You can follow me on Twitter at Jess Belmosto. I will flash it on the screen right now if you're watching on YouTube. And you can follow the show on Twitter, LO_FlamesPod. And remember to subscribe to the show and leave a nice little rating and review if you have the 2 seconds. And I'll chat with you all later. Bye-bye.